Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lucidity for All, and this is Yuri Zaritsky, your lucid dreaming astral projection coach, or how I like to call it, the shift, or that's the shit, okay? And today we're gonna talk about a very interesting subject, which is how to move around within the experience of lucid dream astral projection. So that's a little bit on the dynamics of the shift, the shit. Okay guys, so let's move into the subject, and before we move, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the upcoming learning videos before the year end 2023, and please watch the previous videos that we have done so you can catch up on the information, and we have to get you up and running quite professionally in the shift before the year 2023 hits our doors. So let's dive into the subject of how to move around. So let's go depending on the speed and the distance. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand that moving around within the shift is not linked to the physical muscles. So the way to move around, if you are lucky, intuitively you will manage to walk as usual, there will be no problems, but sometimes you will encounter the issue of you willing to move and you can't move. You are willing to stand up and you can't stand up. That is linked to one little issue, is that the dynamic of the shift is linked to the intent. So I already talked about, we already made one module about the intent, so please watch that video, and I told you how to train your intent. So that module comes in handy right now. You need to become proficient with how to project your intent so that you can move around, go from point A to point B. It's not with your muscles, it's with your intent. Now going from one place to another, what does it require, and how do you take best decisions on the strategy for you to go from point A to point B? If it's within 100 meters, of course you can walk or run. If it's and of course if it's across the building, if let's say from one window to another, please avoid taking the lift or taking the stairs, going down, walking on the street, waiting for the next lift, etc. You know, queue for the lift, too many people. All of that is absolutely not necessary. You can fly, so everything is on the tip of the fingers. You can just fly to the next window and reach the target easily. Same goes for the city, except you are not a bird. You know the city from the ground, you know where to turn left and right. So my advice is, once you take off from the ground 50-100 meters above or at the cloud level, you will be a little bit disoriented because you have never seen your city from the bird's height, you know. So take the before you do that, if you want to travel within the city, take the big landmarks. If you have a tower, you have maybe city center, you know, maybe you have some big buildings in your city, and that is your landmarks. And before you want to reach a certain target, that is your landmarks to orient inside the city. Now, if you want to go from one city to another, that will take too long to fly. You will spend the cherishable time to fly, and again, you don't know the geography of the Earth. How does it look like from the ground? You will be a little bit like Mr. Bean, flying in a helicopter, following the signposts of the road to reach the hospital, because you don't know how to fly directly. You are not a bird. So you're not a pilot. Unless you are a pilot, then yes, you will know the geography of your place. So hence, what I use already for this kind of displacement and go to another country, it's like going to another city, going to another country, I use the same technique which I call zoom in and zoom out. It's a bit like Google Earth. So what I do is I zoom out far enough from Earth. So of course you need to overcome your fear of heights if you have. Train yourself, go higher and higher until you get accustomed. So you go as high as you want, and then turn around the Earth, and let's say you go from Los Angeles to Australia, somewhere in Perth, and then you know, okay, this is Australia, and you zoom in where Perth is, and then you zoom in to the landmark that you are looking for. You see, so that will take you only a few seconds. As compared to flying from Los Angeles to Perth, you know, and you will encounter the problem of the speed limit. How fast can you fly? What is your mental limitation in terms of speed? You know, I mean, of course, you can come up with something a la how to say, a la Star Wars, beyond the speed of light. Okay, you can come up with that kind of solution too. But I find zoom in, zoom out. I came up with this technique myself at some point, and many guys already use that technique, and they report, Yuri, thank you very much, beautiful. It works really well, and I used that also. So now we are around the globe. How to travel in space. So I encountered the problem of space when I wanted to fly from Earth to the moon, and I fly to the moon, and I fly to the moon, and the moon is not getting bigger, and I lose the sense of movement, because there is no reference point to tell me that I'm moving. I don't know my speed. So what I did is I fly backwards to Earth, so the Earth becomes smaller. And then I realized that I have moved, and then I turn around, and then I see the moon approaching. That was the only way to know that I'm moving. And the same goes for to go beyond the solar system. If you try to reach a star, my problem was I point a star and I tell myself, okay, let's fly to that star. I'm flying again, no reference point. The star is just a tiny little dot in the sky, and it's not becoming bigger. So again, zoom in, zoom out, and zoom in. So for the travel in space, I zoom out to, in a sense that I become as big as a constellation, as big as how you call it? Not the universe, but like the Milky Way, the galaxy. So my hands become as big as the galaxy. So it's a little bit trippy, a little bit tricky. And then I zoom in into a point inside the galaxy. So you need to know the galaxy, you need to know where you, of course me, I'm not a specialist in space. So my experience of traveling inside space was, it was beautiful. I would need to make a separate video on that. Tell me if you want me to tell you my story about how I traveled in space, becoming as big as galaxy. It was quite interesting. So yeah, zoom in, zoom out, much more faster than flying. Okay. Another technique is teleportation. So that is the favorite technique of going from one point to another instead of walking or flying or zooming in or zooming out. So you don't have to travel, you just teleport in a fraction of a second. I don't like to teleport with closed eyes. When I close my eyes, so the technique of teleportation with closed eyes is close eyes and then visualize yourself in a new location, and then when you feel that you are in a new location, you open your eyes. I do not like this technique, and I do not advise this technique to be used. What I prefer is to use doors as doorways. So you always can find, we humans always have doors. You can always find a door, and you visualize, you intend, you expect the location to be behind the door. open the door, the location is there, just enjoy. You have just teleported to Mars and nothing fancy has to be done. It doesn't have to be a special door. I teleported through the door of a fridge. So, you know, you walk on your intent, your normal intent will say you find yogurt inside the fridge. So break your limitations with in your intent. Intend something else. Any door will do, you know. You can also travel by falling through the wall, why not, you know, backwards, you know, you don't expect to hit the wall. I don't like to, sometimes when you try to go through a wall, you go facing the wall and then you face the solidity of the wall. So to outcome that difficulty, you face the wall backwards and then you visualize behind the wall is the location where you want to be. So you hit the wall, you don't know when you're gonna hit the wall, so you don't have that difficulty, and then you go through the wall and then you just appear on the other side. So please don't get stuck inside the wall. Some people get stuck. I don't want to put that idea inside you, so even though I said it, so it's a kind of me doing something wrongdoing to you, but okay, in case but I need to tell you in case you face that difficulty. So just, you know, if you are getting stuck, unstuck, you know, don't get your mind limited by any kind of mind limitation beliefs, you know. No limitation inside the shift. That's the shit. Okay, and so that's it. That's it for today. Let me know if I forgot something or if something I said is not clear. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss out on my learning materials that are upcoming before the year 2023 and the future ones too. Okay. Like the video. For you is just a second. For me, it means a lot. Leave some comments if you really like. Say thanks. Or if you didn't like, I will improve. Let me know, and it helps me. You know, helps me to feel better when I make the videos. You know, at least we have some communication. You know, making videos in front of the camera, there is nobody, but ultimately I know you are there. So that's it, guys. See you guys soon, and in about 1 week time for the next training video. Yuri Zaritsky, Lucidity for All, signing out. Ciao.